How's the cricket anyway?
Cricket's good. We've only lost the 1 wicket today. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of the podcast that needs a shave. It's Pleasure Explosion. I am your host for this week. My name is Jack Cruz, and I'm joined by one of the hosts that does need a shave, Thomas Marshall.
Good evening. How are you, Jack?
I'm okay. I'm good. One of the other hosts who needs a shave, Nicholas Pryor.
You take those words right back.
And very well-groomed Dylan Blight.
Actually, to be fair, I haven't shaved today. It probably doesn't come up on camera.
No, I can see the 5 o'clock shadow there. Yeah,
a little bit of stubble there.
So I do. I need to shave too.
But it's not unruly like these two.
It's not unruly,
bearded.
but I would consider. I do consider I need to shave.
Yeah, no,
definitely tomorrow morning.
Yeah. We don't want bearded Dylan back. That's not a good.
It's coming back.
No.
With a vengeance.
Oh dear. It's so funny how different bearded Dylan and I'm going to say normal Dylan because that's the Dylan that I know like physically look. It's quite.
I like to think of normal Dylan and Sex Pest Dylan.
Yeah, that's fair. I think.
Have you got like new glasses since all of those ones with you with the beard?
Yeah, I got new glasses.
Yeah,
last year.
that's the thing that I think like does it as well. Like the beard and the changing glasses like does a whole different face.
And the long hair. Don't forget the long metal hair. I always just assumed Dylan was like a metalhead from his like appearance. He had like you were the quintet. Like if you think of like a metal head. You were literally what I imagine. Long black hair.
I've been in a mosh pit.
Beard. Like...
I reckon he looked like a League of Legends nerd.
Yeah, that too.
Oh.
Anyway, let's kick right into the topic this week. And what we will be discussing is our Desert Island playlists. Now, what that means is you're stuck on a desert island. You've been stranded on a desert island and... you have been given the option to have 4 pieces of entertainment with you. You have a television, a game console of your choosing, and you get to select, also a CD player, and you get to select one of the following to accompany you on your stay for the island. You get 1 television series, you get 1 movie, 1 album, and 1 video game. Now, as far as you're concerned... you'll be on this island for the rest of your life. You don't know when you're getting off. You pretty much... There'll be a lot of time for that. Trust me.
I know when I'm getting off.
But as far as you're concerned, you'll be on this island for all of eternity.
Is someone dropping us off, or are we just like cast away there?
You're like cast away, or like the devil. You made a deal with the devil. I'm not sure exactly what the backstory is, but you are. Think of it as like purgatory. You're on this island and you can't get off, but you have these 4 things.
So it's Lost.
It could be. I never watched the show.
4, 3, 2, 1, 9.
I don't know what any of that means.
What?
So it's some rules.
I just know that was how Lost ended.
We need to set some ground rules because I know what you guys are like, and you'll try and milk, especially you, Tom. You'll try and milk the system. So, For the television series. You can select any TV series you like. However, if it is a series that is ongoing, as in currently airing new episodes and that kind of thing, you only get to watch up until what has been released as of the day you are stranded on the island, which is today. For your movie, you can only select 1 movie, not a series or a trilogy, so you could only choose The Empire Strikes Back. You cannot select the entire original trilogy, and I don't know why you would bother with the prequels, but that's a topic for another day. Your album has to be
another show.
Or another show. Alderon Explosion. It posts every Friday for another couple of weeks. 12 p.m. AEDT. Your album. You can pick 1 album. It has to be in CD form. You cannot say, I want to pick a Spotify playlist. As you have no internet or phone or iPod. No mixtapes, so not a burnt CD that you made that you were able to fit 58 songs on. And... you can choose, so you can choose CDs like Top of the Pops or Ministry of Sound or something like that. However, you can only select 1 version, as in 1 year. So you can't be like, I'm getting the anthology of Ministry of Sound with 58 discs. That's not how it works. And your video game can be any video game of your choosing from any console of your choosing. However, you can only pick one game. You can't pick something like Mega Man Legacy Collection or the Uncharted Collection, and you can't say, like, I want all the GTA games. You are more than welcome to pick an online game. However, be aware that you have no internet, so it will be rendered useless. The game you pick will be the latest version with the latest firmware, but you are not able to update it or add to it, and you are not allowed to select any DLC, only the full game as it was released on day one.
I'm going to take issue with that when we get there, but that's fine. You can't say it's the game that released day one as it was, but also with all the patches that it's got till today. But
well, I did. So
we'll get there.
We will. So you can have all the bug fixes and all of that, but you can't have any of the DLC, is what I mean. So
what if you buy the game of the year edition?
I can get it on a single disc, so that's what I'm going to take.
I'm going to argue my point when we get to games too, but you know.
I should have.
When we get to games.
Well, it's going to be last on our list, so I'm sure there'll be a lot of chance for discourse as we approach that. But we're going to start with TV series, and I'm going to start with you, Dylan. What TV series did you pick?
Black Books. It is my favourite TV series of all time, and I've watched it from start to finish more times than any other show, and I still laugh every time I watch it, so I pretty much find all the jokes to be timeless. So if I'm going to be stuck on an island, I need some levity, and a TV series that I find unrelentingly funny, and I never grow tired of it. That sounds like the type of TV series to bring to a desert island to me.
What is Black Books? I've never even heard of it.
What is Black
What do you
Books?
mean, what is Black
sacrilegious piece of shit. Get off this show.
Oh, it's a British sitcom, of course it is.
Oh, it's a British sitcom.
Is it like
What does that
Blackadder?
mean?
No, it's not like Blackadder.
No, it's not.
You should have picked Blackadder.
No, Blackadder's nowhere near as good as Black Books.
No, I've honestly never heard of it. I know the faces of I know the Bill Bailey and Dylan Moran.
Yeah, they're hilarious. I've seen them live. I see Dylan Moran live for 2 years ago. It was great.
Excellent.
I've seen him live too. He's quite funny.
He's quite funny, man. He's quite funny, man. Shares the same first name as me too, which I appreciate.
Didn't think about that till you said it.
He does too. Is that why you picked it?
No, Black Books is my favorite TV show of all time.
That's cool.
We haven't done favorite top 5 TV shows, but if Nick decides to do that,
Sorry, Nick.
It is coming up.
Okay, spoilers. Black Books is number 1.
So, I was also going to be interested with this topic to see, because we've obviously done favourite albums and favourite movies so far as topics, but I was interested to see whose actual favourites would be there, like the ones that they chose.
My favourite movie isn't, and my favourite game isn't the game I'm bringing.
Yeah, me neither. Oh, no, yeah, I have one favourite in my...
I thought about it outside that. You got to consider like
longevity and replayability and etc. and so on.
Yeah, exactly. So, but Black Books, as I said, I've watched it through more times than any other TV show, so that seems like a good desert island pick to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
very good.
Nice. Solid. I don't know if I've seen Black Books the whole way through.
It's like 3 series.
I know, but it's one of those ones that I know I have started and watched a bunch of episodes, but I also know that I haven't been like... It's not been one of the ones on Netflix where you just started episode 1 and over the course of 2 weeks or 3 weeks you've watched the whole thing.
I'll watch the Thai show from season 1 to season 3 in just one sitting, because you can do that.
That's impressive. I did... I sort of doctored it a little bit, but a couple of times with a particular friend of mine going out drinking. He said, "Oh, what do you want? I'll get you a drink. Okay, I'll have a lager." He goes to the bathroom. "I got you creme de menthe." Just a shot of it. He's like, "Fuck you. What are you on about?" Well, you need to watch Black Books.
Yeah,
that's funny. I appreciate your you must love this show, because there's not that many episodes from what I can see here. It's only like 16, 17 episodes?
Yeah,
something like that.
Like,
cool. It's kind of like
6 to 8 episodes a season. Yeah,
it's kind of like In-Betweeners was like that. Just enough,
but
you want just enough to leave you wanting more.
Yeah.
Well,
The
In-Betweeners left you wanting more, and then gave you 2 movies, a decent one and a horrible one. So, Black Book's finished.
Very good.
Spoilers, they locked the shop up. They locked the shop up forever. It's
Perfect.
over.
Right now, I don't have to watch it.
You don't watch it for the story, you watch it for the banter.
Nicholas.
Manny!
Jack,
Nicholas, what's your television show?
well, I was thinking long and hard of it, and I was thinking it is a deserted island, and I'm assuming there's no pharmacy, so I don't have to worry about longevity.
Oh, it's true. You know, I should have made the. You have on this desert island. You have all of the sustenance that you'll need to survive. So for you've got an endless supply of insulin and food and water.
Oh, good. I don't have to pick man versus wild then.
You still could if you wanted to.
You could.
Yeah,
it's
but
not
it's
a bad
not that
show.
interesting if I don't need it.
That's true. That's a practical choice. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's solid.
Seinfeld.
Okay.
I expected to hear that one, but probably from Jono,
Yeah.
who is not here. But I think a solid choice.
Yeah, I don't think that show gets old.
No.
I could watch George and his antics. Well, for as long as I'm stuck on a desert island.
I think like with Seinfeld, it's almost a time capsule. Like some
Yeah.
of the comedy. So if you've lived through some of that stuff, or you remember some of that stuff,
Yeah.
then you're gonna find it very funny. But somebody that's like a youth today, they're probably gonna
All my
watch it and be
life.
like, "What is this shit? Like this stuff isn't funny. None of this actually happens to me in my life." You know?
Yeah, it was tough. It was either that or Scrubs. But Scrubs, the last season of Scrubs was worthless, so that got kicked out.
Yeah. I think that's a solid choice, and a lot of episodes as well, which is good.
Nine seasons.
9 seasons. Yeah. 20
Never got
plus
into
episodes.
Scrubs.
Never got into Scrubs. I never got into
No,
Seinfeld.
I never liked it. So I can get down Seinfeld, but Scrubs was a show I never got.
Anybody gonna
Yeah, I know.
Pick
I'm not
on
even
this-
gonna. No.
no?
Just
Okay.
move on. Move on.
Jerry
I can get
Seinfeld.
down with Seinfeld.
Well, is that sorry, Dill?
I can
Oh dear.
Very good.
get down with Seinfeld.
No, I never watched much of Scrubs either.
Bits and pieces. Never, not enough for it to be in the
There's
pantheon.
one point on Scrubs, one episode, and I don't know what happened, but Dr. Cox made some particular joke that had me laughing for like weeks. And I can't remember what that joke is now, and I don't want to go and watch the whole show, and it probably
Yeah.
wasn't that funny. But I've got this memory of Dr. Cox being like the funniest person on the planet because he did or said one particular thing, and it just resonated with like 14-year-old me, or however old I was at the time.
It was a great show. It was a really good show. Thomas, your television series.
For my television series, I am going to choose Arrested Development.
Oh, good call.
And
Including the 4th season?
I can
I was about to say, including the 4th season.
I can take or leave the 4th season.
Yeah, you don't
but-
have to watch it.
No, yeah, well, I could take it and not watch it, or I could take it and see if it grows on me. But
Mr. Ref.
that show,
I guarantee it grows on you. If you're stuck with it, it probably
Yeah.
grows on you.
Yeah.
that show is something that grows on me as well, and I love it, and I think I love it more each time I watch it. Yeah, it's a fantastic one, infinitely rewatchable. I think for all of what happens. Yeah.
I've never watched Arrested Development, but it's always been one of those ones that has been like I've seen episodes of Seinfeld and that kind of thing, but I never got into Seinfeld, but I've never had a inkling to be like, oh, I want to sit down and watch Seinfeld one day. But Arrested Development, I've never gotten to it, but I've always wanted to sit down and watch it.
Great show. And do sit down and watch it. Like, don't be, oh, there's an episode on TV, I'll
Yeah,
just
you
see
need to
this
watch it
one
from the
episode
start.
and see what's going on. You miss
So much.
everything. It's almost like a binge watch series before binge watching on Netflix was a thing, really.
Is it on Netflix?
I'm pretty sure it
Netflix
is.
owns
'Cause,
the rights.
yeah, Netflix made the 4th season. Yeah,
That's right.
so
I believe
so
they're making a 5th too.
I know that they are. Yeah,
I love Jason Bateman, so like I think he's just a fantastic actor, so I could definitely get down with that. And Michael Cera, that's got a great cast as well. That's the other thing.
yeah.
Fantastic cast.
They were. They either were or are filming the 5th season at the moment, because it was on the lot near where, the LA office at work is or was, something like that. They recently moved, but yeah, people had sent through a couple of snaps of it wasn't quite the banana stand being moved through the lot, but that kind of thing, Arrested Development filming at the moment. So
magnificent.
It's going to happen.
My television series that I would pick is South Park. I think infinitely funny, and it's a show that has evolved so much from what it originally was, which was dick and fart jokes, to a show that is still dick and fart jokes, but just amazingly cleverly written and always topical and sort of in the moment.
Dick and fart satire.
Dick and fart satire. I absolutely love South Park. I'm not sure whether or not it's my favorite television series or show of all time, but it's definitely in the conversation. And I think the reason I pick it, there's a few reasons. Obviously, because it's hilarious and I love it, but there's enough of it. We're into season 21 at the moment, so 21 seasons of the show that 200 plus episodes or whatever that I'll get to watch, which is a good amount. And I just think timeless. You can go back and watch. The first few episodes are they're rough, but it would take you back to a time when, as a kid, when this show came out, I remember it being it was only on SBS, and they wouldn't play it on commercial television, and it was on late at night, and you'd turn it on, and it's a cartoon, but they're swearing in it, and it was or they're not even swearing, it's bleeped out. It was such a, South Park is such a seminal show, I think, just in history and so important in pop culture, and I just think it's great, and I love it so much. I love everything about it, and there's enough of it that I haven't seen as well. There's a lot of the recent seasons that I haven't seen, and bits and pieces of episodes that I've missed in between. So I feel like not only if I'm stranded on the island today, not only am I getting a great show that I love, but I'm also getting a lot of new content that I haven't seen yet. So I think it'll be I think that's why I pick it.
Fair. I wonder if some of the later seasons are too tied up with what's actually happened in American culture or politics that week.
Yeah.
Maybe episodes that you haven't seen in the recent seasons, but I suppose you cross that bridge when you come to it, don't you?
Yeah, most definitely.
It's makes me think Boston Legal too. Which was an amazing show. I loved it, fantastic at the time. But I imagine going back to watch that now and not remembering that they were waiting for a Supreme Court case to have have a verdict rendered, and that was sort of tied into the narrative of the show and things like that. I wonder if missing some of the context of that would make it not as good.
Maybe.
But
it does, because I don't remember. I didn't watch it when it was happening, and I still loved it anyway. So
there you go.
Good.
Dylan, your movie.
Spirited Away.
Spirited Away.
Yep.
Interesting.
So when I'm crafting the list, I was like, I kind of want a variety between my TV shows, games, out. I don't want to pick a serious TV show, a serious movie, blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
so I was
mix up a bit.
I was like, I wouldn't mind picking a movie that's feel good to me, and a movie that I know I don't get bored watching. And Spirited Away is the greatest animated movie of all time, for a start. Put that on the docket. Look at Nick shaking his fucking head. Look, piece of shit. Get out of here.
The fuck out of here.
When Spirited, and I've also probably watched this more than any other animated movie, even though I was kind of forced to. I wasn't forced to, but it was just when it came out, and it was this big deal when it won Best Animated Picture at the Oscars, and I was still getting put in when school holidays was on. I was still getting taken to our local PCYC, which is I don't know if you have those.
Yeah, police club.
Yeah. So
police community
for
youth
daycare.
club.
for like daycare during school holidays, and they'd have Spirited Away on constantly, just on rotation. If that's what you wanted to do, you could sit there, or you could go play in like the trampolines and stuff. So go play in the trampolines sometimes, but then I'd be like, I might just go watch Spirited Away for the second time today, and I never got bored of it. So I've watched this movie so many times, and even as I grew older, still watch it, still holds up, still great. Makes me, I feel like it's also a movie that it makes me happy to watch, and I get such enjoyment out of it. And I've watched it probably, no joke, close to 50 times, I swear, and I still don't understand everything that movie's about. Like, I feel like there's so much. It's designed as a kids movie, but I feel like there's so many layers to that movie, and like its underlying messages and stuff that they're trying to put into its story, that I if I'm trapped on desert island, I could still watch it more times and try and figure out and learn more about it, while also just enjoying my time with it. So,
Interesting.
Spirited Away.
Very cool. Nicholas,
Jack.
your movie, if you wouldn't mind.
Black Hawk Down.
Black Hawk Down. Interesting pick. It's a good movie.
I know it is.
It's a good movie. I like it also. Thomas, no. Tell us why, Nick. Tell us why. Regale
the movie, the action. I know it with word. I never get sick of watching it.
Yeah,
it's a good movie.
I feel. What number was that in your?
I didn't rank it.
Didn't you? I thought I remember it being in there.
It's in there, but it's not. My top 5 isn't ranked.
Oh, you didn't rank it. Okay, yeah, that's right. You didn't. So what? So is it? Where? Can you rank it? Can you tell? Is that your favorite movie of all time, or is it just a movie you love a lot?
It's in my top 5.
I love you. I love you so much. I love everything about you. Oh god. Awesome. Cool. Black Hawk Down. Good flick. Good cast too. Really good cast.
Ensemble, one would say.
Ensemble. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Thomas.
My movie. Well, Nick talked about being practical with Man vs. Wild. Dylan mentioned
Castaway.
Castaway too. No. Dylan mentioned choosing things with layers and underlying messages. I feel like my choice in movie is combining the two of those quite well. And I'm taking pirates with me to the desert island.
The porno?
The porn film. 99% for the joke. 1% for the practicality, as I mentioned.
It's not even a good porno.
But it's one that people know when I say it, and Jack.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Do you not know Pirates?
No.
What?
How?
These are all laughing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Pirates is
it's like the
just Google
famous porno.
Yeah, it's very famous. Like
it's a porn parody of Pirates of the Caribbean.
And
okay.
Ish. Yeah.
How old is it? Did it come out like after that? Well, like soon after the original?
It's a porn parody of the Disney World ride.
It was when like so if you remember like the time in history when every single person went to the fancy dress party as Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, it was around that time.
I think it came out, I think, in my first year of uni, or maybe like the end of my last year of school. Because I remember it being a big thing that it was the first porn film with $1 million budget. Which is entirely spent on CGI of a ship on water, and it looks really bad.
That's good though. Very good.
But I feel like I can make that worth my time over
2005.
2005.
Why do you need to bring a porn film to
You're stuck on a desert island by yourself for indefinite time.
Yeah.
Don't you have an imagination though? Like you could pick an actual movie.
I reckon after a while you're gonna forget like what they look like. Like you're gonna like after a while.
What's gonna look like?
Well, what looks like, Jack?
The lady parts and stuff.
Not if you bring a porn
lady
movie.
parts and stuff.
Yeah. So I feel like if you haven't looked at something or seen something for a long time, you try and picture it in your head. I think it's always like I can't quite picture what it looked like. Or maybe you can. I don't know.
What did they feel like?
Yeah. I like it. It's a
Bags of
practical
sand.
choice. Bag of sand. I
Like a
it, Thomas.
bag of sand.
You have,
Yeah.
you have lots of sand to help you with your playing time, I guess.
It was
Playing time is right.
when Jack proposed it. It was the very first thing I thought of. I knew it was a joke answer, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm rolling with pirates as my movie.
I couldn't think of any porn titles that are filmed, so that's why I didn't say anything.
I did not consider the option of a porn film at all.
I was
Nor
like
did I, to be honest.
holding my breath when Nick was going to say his one. I was like, I know that Nick might have thought something similar to this, but
I did.
Very good.
it's like it's. I was just gonna try and talk about how it's like a notable name, but we don't have to.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
I think this joke has ran its course.
Yeah, it's good. I appreciate it though. My movie is my favorite movie of all time, Inglourious Bastards. I think it's just the rewatchability of it is, and the fact that I love it so much, and I still get giddy every time I watch it, and I just get so much enjoyment out. Like giddy, not
That's
that
how I
kind of
feel
giddy,
about
Tom.
pirates too.
I get when it, much like you said, Dylan, when you watch Spirited Away, how enjoyable it is for you. I still feel that way about Inglourious Bastards every time I watch it, and I watch it every year. It's just I just love it. I can and I pick up.
Do you watch it on VE Day or something like that? Like,
He watches it on Christmas.
I watch it on Christmas Eve every year. So.
why?
Christmas Eve every year. I
'cause
don't
he's
know
an idiot.
how it started, but I remember one year I was like, I'm gonna watch a movie on Christmas Eve, and I chucked it on, and because it's my favorite movie, I'm like, what else? What other movie am I gonna watch? And and then the next year I hadn't watched it since back then. I thought, fuck, it's Christmas Eve again. I'm gonna watch it, and I've just watched it every Christmas Eve for like the last 5 or 6 years. It's sort of become my like yearly tradition, and I look for, and it's funny because I love the movie so much, and I sort of starve myself. Like there's times during the year where I'm like flicking through Netflix and I see Inglourious Bastards, watch again. I'm like, oh, I could definitely do that. And then I'm like, no, I'll wait because it will make it that much more special when it gets to Christmas Eve, and that time of the year is fast approaching, and I'm really looking forward to watching it again. I just jump on the couch, Sal's out doing like making like shortbread and like Christmas cookies and stuff like that, and listening to carols, and I'm watching. So like the polar opposites of what you could
Do you want to
possibly be
know what
doing.
movie? Have I said what movie I watch every Christmas Eve?
Pirates?
Why don't you save it for a potential Christmas episode?
Good call.
Okay. It's an actual Christmas movie, though, for a fucking start.
The Die Hard. But yeah, no. So Inglourious Bastards. I feel like I could watch that movie, and being on the desert island, I could use the excuse of watching it more often than once a year. So I love it. I love it, and I choose that. I choose you, Inglourious Bastards. Dylan, your album. What album is the marvelous Dylan Blight bringing to the desert island?
I'm bringing my number one album, Razor Blade Romance by him. I figure if I'm gonna just listen to one album, it has to be your favorite one. This is the one I spent less time thinking about than the other ones. It's just like it's not like a mood piece. It's not a thing. It's just like, what album will I not get bored of listening to probably daily?
Yeah.
You know, favorite album of all time. That was a podcast you can go listen to X amount of episodes ago. Mm-hmm. Top 5 albums.
Top 5
Razor Blade
albums.
Romance, him.
Very good. Yeah, that's an interesting one. So mine's a little bit different. Mine isn't my top, which we'll get to in a minute. But I feel like I would get sick of my favorite album. So it's interesting that you wouldn't.
I have listened to it in the last couple of days since I started thinking about this topic, because I was like, Razor Blade Romance. And I've listened to it from start to finish every day to work this week, which is like 5 days in a row, which is 10 times this week. Mm-hmm. I've listened to it from start to finish 10 times this week. No, I don't get bored of it.
Cool. Good choice. Good choice. Nicholas,
Jack.
your album, please.
Toby Keith's 35 Greatest Hits.
Toby Keith's 35 Greatest Hits. Interesting. I don't
Dylan
know who
pulls
Toby.
out his phone.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Spotify,
everyone pulls their phone out. Google.
and types in
Toby
Toby Keith.
Okay, I see a cowboy hat and a well manicured
yep, so do
beard.
I.
Is there like a?
Oh God. Oh God.
Is there a song that we would know by Toby Keith?
Do you know country music?
I know. Is it? No, I don't. But I like.
That's
song.
very highly unlikely.
I like that song that guy did with Nelly that one time, and I enjoy Kid Rock's music. But that's
No,
about
you wouldn't
the
know.
extent of it.
And pause it so we don't get copyright.
Yeah, why, Nick?
Because it's my default go-to when I don't know what I want to listen to.
Okay, that's a good.
So
Does he
I'm
have,
always
like,
in the
a-
mood for it.
So, like, my question, sort of, if there's a song, does he have like some country singers like Shania Twain? Everyone knows that one Shania Twain song.
How
does
do
he
you like
have?
me now would probably like me now is probably one of his biggest. Beer for my horses.
Beer for my horses.
Yeah,
I'm just looking at some.
they even made a movie
song,
out of that
though.
song.
This is the most American shit I've ever heard. I'm gonna read out some of the. I'm just clicked on songs.
Yeah.
From Toby Keith. Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue,
shit.
American Soldier. I love this
Is there a
bar.
song called "We Shoot Cunts First, Ask Questions
He
Later"?
played at the Trump's inauguration too.
He played at Trump's inauguration. Wow, there you go. Beer for my horses. There it is. As
With
Is there
Willie
one
Nelson.
called is there one called "American Big Dumb and Better Than You"?
should have been a cowboy. There you go. Who's your daddy? Whiskey Girl. A little too late.
Fucking hell.
Made in America. Original. Bullets in the gun. Look, I could literally keep going.
Yeehaw,
You
cowboy.
get the point. That's interesting. I didn't know you were a big country fan, Nick.
Yeah,
Didn't we? We've covered this.
Have we?
Yeah, it's a fact. Yeah.
Interesting. Well,
love country music.
I don't begrudge you on that. I like some country music. I like
Well,
both
it's
kinds.
not, it's like I'm the one choosing to listen to it, and you three aren't.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I
Yeah,
expected like AC/DC or the Beards or something. I didn't expect Toby Keith, greatest hits.
Or Kid Rock.
Kid Rock. I like Kid Rock. He's in like the Nickelback thing for me. I think people give him
Nah.
unnecessary.
He's in
hate.
I associate with Trump. I ain't listening to that guy.
Who's that? Who you don't listen to?
Kid Rock.
You don't like Kid Rock?
you can
associates
separate
with
their
Trump.
personal politics from their art, Dylan.
No, hey guys, there's an episode of Pleasure Explosion where you can hear us talk about
I
that.
didn't know that he was a Trump supporter.
Yeah, very, very prolific Trump supporter.
Good for him. Thomas Marshall.
And this is how you can tell I didn't fuck with our top 10 albums list, because if I was being biased and trying to keep stuff off the list, Kid Rock would have not made it. I would have been like, it
Just
got enough
snuck into the
votes,
top 10.
but I'll just change
Didn't you
the
like-
numbers.
Didn't you listen to it? I thought you listened to that album. I remember you saying something about it when it came out.
No. Nick, that was Nick's.
Maybe it was Nick.
that
I
was a
remember
Nick
there was
one.
a review of it on the Nick's nonsense. Mini reviews. Go check that out on Twitter.
I've saved Toby Keith Greatest Hits Volume 1 to my my Spotify library, and I'll listen to that
Tom's
just for
also
you. Nick.
Tom's also
Thanks,
a
Tom.
country.
Thomas, your album.
I'm happy to listen to country music. The album that I have chosen, we know I have an affinity for Paul Weller. I've chosen Hit Parade, which is a compilation album that covers the Jam, Style Council, and his solo stuff.
Okay.
It's a thing. I think.
Did
it's
he
a
record that
great
after
compilation.
doing Robocop?
What?
If I had water in my mouth, it would have just gone all over my mic.
That's good. That is good. He did what you do, but for an actor's name from RoboCop.
Fucking nailed you. Got him.
Nailed it.
Also, voice of Batman in the best animated movie.
So there is an option that I will try and push for. There's a single CD version, which is I know is within the rules. There's a 5-disc version, which clearly has a lot more songs on it,
I'll
but
allow it.
is still the album. It was released as an album, multi-disc. I'm waiting for you to say you want to take The Wall, and that is going to be over 2 discs that you won't be allowed to do if I'm not allowed to take my 5-disc compilation. So Balls in your court there, Jack.
I'll allow it. Yeah, I'll allow that.
Yeah,
That's good.
so,
well played. Well played.
That works.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they'll. Yeah, go and check it out.
That's fair enough. Yeah, I mean, that's...
I was about to
great
say, good
combination.
job, Peter Weller, and then I was like, wait, no, that's the...
So I'll allow
that's
that.
an actor.
Only even if I hadn't have picked my next one, I'd allow that
The
because
Wall.
because it's not. I wouldn't have like I was expecting from you being like, I picked greatest punk rock of all time, and it's 35 discs and there's 700.
Yeah,
and I would have been like, no,
100
Tom.
top punk
Yeah.
songs or something. Yeah,
Yeah, and I would not have allowed that. But no, that's fair. I'll allow that. That's cool. So yeah, my album is Pink Floyd The Wall. Couple of discs.
Read you
It's
like a book.
Yeah, you know me too well. It's
Not on a desert
as a-
island though. We're not taking books.
No books. No books on the desert island.
Yeah, I did notice that as a call out.
Yeah.
It's like, movie, but Jack's like, don't read books, so we won't even discuss it. Get fucked. I was like,
This is my version of purgatory, and no reading is not allowed. You could have picked like, I don't know, like Danganronpa or something if you wanted to read, which you very may well have.
Extremely
Also,
unlikely.
Inglourious Bastards, lots of reading in that movie, so lots of subtitles.
That does not count.
you can tell he's such a person who hates reading that he's like, I had to read subtitles, so I pretty much did reading this year. That counts like that's an entire book.
Can you
don't
can
hate
you
reading.
put Inglourious Bastards on Goodreads? If not, then it's not reading.
Doesn't
I don't hate reading. I just don't
Have you
read
finished The
often.
Spy and the Maven by our mate
I
John
like,
O'Peck's book
no,
yet?
I haven't touched it since.
I
a little
rest
bit.
my case.
I don't hate reading. I like
I-
reading. I just don't get the chance to do it all that often.
But I only like reading when it's an Inglorious Bastard.
I like reading more in Inglourious Basterds.
I
Pink
don't
Floyd The
know
Wall.
that movie so badly that I was like, is there shots where he could pause it and read a book like over somebody's shoulder in that film? How is there reading? Didn't even
Probably
think
not
about
in
the
English.
German thing.
Pink Floyd The Wall. Like I said in our albums episode, one of the great albums of all time, and it's a double faceted one because as you know, there's The Wall, the movie, like of this album, which is so if I like close my eyes and imagine it, I could think of like the movie as well. So there's like an added layer of.
But after a while, you're obviously going to forget what that looks like, you know?
Yeah, exactly, like the lady bits. But for the first couple of years, I reckon I'll be okay. I just think it's a timeless album. It's like a story from start to finish. It's great music for one. And I feel like I didn't pick my favorite album, which is Meteora by Linkin Park, because I feel like I would get sick of that. And it's only a short album, whereas Pink Floyd The Wall is like 20-something songs over a couple of discs. So I just feel like I could chuck it on and have it going in the background, and it would be the one I would listen to for the rest of my days. Yeah, for eternity. Dylan James Blight.
Why did my middle name?
I got it, nailed it. I knew it started with a J. I couldn't remember whether it was James or not.
I didn't know it was James. I thought it was just... I
I thought it was Jamiroquai.
I was expecting... Could have been
That would
that.
be so good.
My dad and my brother, their middle names are both James.
I thought it was
My
gonna
brother's
say
middle name's
Jamiroquai.
James too.
I don't trust what Nick said at all. Like, that's probably not true.
Oh dear.
It's true.
Dylan, what video game are you taking with you to the desert island?
Now, judging on what... I'm hoping I've picked the same thing as Tom, because after what he was saying before, it'd be really good if we did, because then we can argue together. If not, he can join me in arguing, because he'll hopefully like my pick anyway. I want to bring the Witcher 3 Game of the Year
Yes!
edition with
Yes!
Blood in the Wine and the Heart. Yes!
Shut it down. Taking the Game of the Year edition.
We're taking the Game of the Year edition because it's a separate release a year later. It's all on one disc. It has the DLC added, and it's not like mini DLC. They're proper expansions. Get fucked, get fucked, get fucked, get fucked.
That's what I'm taking. And agree with you entirely.
There's no other game. It's like you start thinking, you're like, all right, cool. Because my head was automatically like, maybe like Pac-Man. Because it's like you could, it's like you go all day trying to get this. And then you're like, oh, yeah, maybe something like your Skyrim. No. And then you're like, what am I doing? Witcher is the only choice because I can start it almost so many times and there's new things to do. It's just great. It's one of the games of all time, and there's 100 to 200 hours of stuff to do in there, and you know. You can just take
a lot of replayability.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got heaps of replayability. What more do you want?
Yeah.
It's the correct answer, and if you pick something else, you're fired.
Yeah. I'll allow it.
wholeheartedly.
I'll allow it. Definitely.
You allow it?
Yeah,
Good.
I'll allow
We
it.
don't need to argue.
Yeah, it was
then.
about
Lock
to
it
be
in.
3v1, I think, so...
Was it your pick too, Nick?
It was going to, but I'm going to go with something different. Now.
Okay.
Boo.
You should just
That
lock
would
it in.
be
We all
that would
pick
be
the
funny
same
if
game.
that would be funny if you picked it as well. Go on, Nick. What's yours?
He did. And he's
Greg-
changing
He did,
it
he's
on the
changing
fly.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
he's
was.
changing it now.
The
Must
Grand
be a
Theft
cool
Auto 4 Complete Edition.
The what?
Grand Theft Auto 4 Complete Edition.
Oh, yeah, okay.
With the Ballad of Gay Tony.
Ballad of Gay
and
Tony and
Lost
the
in the
whatever
Damned.
those thing.
Yep, that's
Okay.
fair.
Didn't play that game.
Fair.
Best GTA of all time.
Nah.
No, I played 3, and I played San Andreas, and then I played 5.
Interesting. It's funny. It's actually quite funny that because the game I pick is also the Witcher 3 game of the year.
Motherfucker.
You fucking piece of shit!
You set out at the start with a whole bunch of rules that excluded the Witcher 3 game of the year edition.
I knew that the Witcher 3 game of the year edition all came on one disc, and I was like, these fuckers are going to pick like the normal edition of something, and I'm going to be like,
No, we're
you
not
could have
dumb.
picked the game of the year edition.
No, that is you.
You were
under the false
specifically going
pretense
against your
that
own
you're
rules.
smarter than us.
No, that's not DLC. It's included on the disc.
Why are you trying to outplay us in our picks?
Yeah, no, I was gonna trick you because you guys would have been like, oh, Skyrim or fucking some other game, and then at the end I would have been like, Witcher 3 Game of the Year edition. You would have been like, oh, you can't have DLC, and I would have been like, oh, okay, I'm on the same disc. So
I see that thing every single day in my entertainment unit in my lounge. There's no way I could forget about.
Why do you keep
that
it in
game
your
it's gonna
lounge?
be. Where else am I going to keep it? I'm going to keep it with my PlayStation.
Oh, in your lounge
Tom's
room.
face just then was like the most like eye shocked. Like, what question did you just ask me?
Well, to be fair, I do have a stack of PS3 games in the corner of my bedroom, and there's no PS3 in here, but that's only because I was cleaning up.
The answer is not Danganronpa. I will bring a book if you allow me, though.
no books.
Fuck.
That's
Dylan,
funny,
what
though.
book would you take to a desert island?
I would
Harry
take.
Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
I'd take the Eisenhower omnibus.
Okay.
I bring Mein Kampf.
On brand, Dylan.
I'd take The Great and Secret Show by Clive Barker if I could, but I can't. So
I don't know if I've got a book from the top of my head that I'd take.
I just went whatever came to my mind.
I'd get it
first
from the
when you asked
bookshelf
me.
myself.
Fucking
Only
hell.
thing I've got is like Inferno Squad, but I'm probably not going to take that.
Take Aftermath.
Take
Last
take
while.
Aftermath and go hunting with it. Just kill small animals by whacking them on the head with this large book.
I just want to
Did you
touch
get the
on.
hardcover?
Yeah, I've got the hardcover.
Okay, you're set.
Yeah.
I just want to touch on how good how fantastic it is that we all picked the same game.
The same game, but everything else was just like completely different all over the place.
Yeah.
Like Spirited Away, Inglorious Bastards, fucking Black Hawk Down,
It
porn.
really
Witcher.
is the only option.
Yeah.
Like The Witcher 3, like it really is, and I think that it's just there's so much replay, like everything you said, the replayability, it's the fact that you could get hundreds of hours out of it. I think it's a perfect choice.
I put nearly 200 hours into the base game when it first came out.
Yeah, so did I.
My save file before I finished the main game, before they even started patching stuff to fix it, was over 200 hours.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I spent an insane amount of time in there, and I know, like I've played through it. Have I played through it twice or 3 times at this point? I've played through it a couple of times at least, and I have still never chosen to go with Yen.
Good choice.
Yeah. Really? I went with Yen.
No, she's clearly the lesser choice. So I have the option,
I'm not
even on
into
this
redheads.
desert island, to go through and choose her, and it's
It'd
it's
be
already
interesting
a
to
brand
see
new game
your
for me.
choice after you read the books.
Yeah, that's fair.
How is The Last Wish going?
It's on my shelf.
Not coming to the desert
It's
island.
not coming to the desert island, so you better get fucking cracking.
Well, maybe it'll come to the... I could take it to the desert island, but then I'd be disappointed I don't have any of the other books.
Yeah. Except you don't get to take it, because those are my rules. Anyway...
And I've already got after now, so...
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That is the definitive... Well, not really, because there's a few people missing, but...
It's the definitive game to take.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's
well,
the definitive game because it's 4 to 7. So
the definitive game is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
Actually,
Game of the Year edition.
What do you think Jono would take? And I'm not singling him out. We're going to go
NBA,
through everybody.
2K,
NBA, 2K.
Yeah, he'd probably take like
15.
NBA. Yeah, where you can, because you can play offline, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Is Ash going to take another sports game?
I don't know what Ash would take.
Ashes Cricket 16.
Yeah. Or a FIFA maybe.
Maybe.
Is it based off the Ashes Test series or based off Ashes, or is it Ashes game?
It's all of the
Both.
above.
Yeah.
And Kieran's bringing Leisure Shoot Larry.
Oh, yes. Perfect.
I was going to
love
say
it.
he's taking Dota or something because he doesn't care that it's not going to work. It's the only game he wants to take.
Yeah. Oh.
Play bots.
On that note, we might leave it there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. There you have it. Let us know. Email us, mail at, or pleasure at, or whatever you want at explosionnetwork.com. We've got like 30 different emails, so just have a pick. Tweet at us at ExplosionPod. Let us know what your desert island picks would be. Thank you for joining us this week, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This has been another episode of Pleasure Explosion, a product of the Explosion Network. You can find all of our content over at www.explosionnetwork.com, and you can follow us all on Twitter. Dylan is at Viva La Dill. Nick is at Lord N.Prior. Tom is at Tom DeBomb 89. Everywhere but Snapchat. What do you mean wrong?
It's wrong.
You're at Lord N.Prior, aren't you?
No, it's different now.
What do you mean it's different?
Don't tell him. I don't want him tweeting me.
You just ruined my outro. What have you done?
No, I didn't.
I'm so confused. You can follow me at cruisy_mate, and you can follow the Explosion Network, like I said, at ExplosionPop, and everywhere but Snapchat for Tom. Because it was Tom. But anyway, it's not important. I've lost my train of thought.
Pirate the porno.
Plat!
Happy holidays and a happy new year from everyone at the Explosion Network. With December, of course, comes award season hype, and the Explosion Network is dropping a top 10 list every week until the end of the year. Stay tuned to explosionnetwork.com for our pick of the best games, movies, and more from 2017. Older on Explosion concludes December 15th, so make sure to catch the last 2 episodes as we count down to and then watch The Last Jedi. And of course, our weekly shows continue. Pleasure Explosion Monday, Platinum Explosion Tuesdays, Grandstand Gurus Thursdays, each at 12 PM Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Catch our live streams on twitch.tv/Explosion Network, and keep your targets locked on explosionnetwork.com for all of our explosive content.
Funny story, I did accidentally pirate when I was trying to pirate Pirates of the Caribbean.
Really?
Did you?
Yeah.
What?
Got a real
That's why you
shock
should
about 3
pirate
minutes
stuff.
into that film. Oh, I didn't expect this to be a Disney thing.